What you are about to witness will contain violence, disturbing imagery, adult themes, and may leave you doubting who you thought you were. Proceed at your own risk.
You'll find as you become better in your craft, not only does your mountain erode for a particular spell, but also generally for all spells in your right of choice. You and your magic will naturally flow towards that right of magic. But it also affects how you attempt to problem solve, and informs your philosophy on magic and how it works. Be careful not to become too married to one right over another, as it only weakens you. Some problems will be best solved with convocation, others illusion, and even some, I dare say, alchemy. Though I don't think there's anything alchemy can solve that summoning or illusion can't solve faster or more effectively. Most of the simple folk where you're from cannot understand this, and subscribe to an understanding of magic that limits them to a specific subset of restricted and pre-established spells, passed down from their masters' masters. Their necromancer will specialize in magic dealing with the dead, but will utilize each rite. Raising a corpse will be using divination to locate the spirit, evocation to get the spirit to you, and then depending on your chosen method, alchemy to create a new body, or rejuvenate an old one, using elements and ingredients you bought from a shop. Or you can use conjuration to summon one from the graveyard down the street, or illusion magic to convince the universe that there was one there all along. You can even go the really cheapskate route and use conjuration to summon a jar. Illusion to convince the universe that the jar is in fact an appropriate vessel for a spirit, and then enchant the jar to speak. But they'll stick to their known spells and limitations, and instead of using somatic components, verbal commands are hell, even staves as precision tools. They'll assume it's impossible to perform magic without them, and of course that belief makes it so. They learn the specific hand movements of the theremin, but only for one song, never anything more. They will never experiment, never stray from the notes written for them, never write their own songs.
The mage waved his hand, and a cup of perfectly brewed tea materialized on his desk beside him. Without taking his eyes from his parchment, and only slightly wiggling his nose, he summoned a soft pelt blanket from a chamber several floors away, for he knew the boy had fallen asleep long ago.
This wasn't the first time that you all rescued me. This was the 11th. Sometimes it was you, sometimes it was Raz, sometimes it was Lear and Jude. I didn't know their names, but they never broke the barrier. It was always they got through it or something different.
How? I don't remember any of that. I love you so much. And I lean back and I take his face and I kiss him.
I awkwardly pull back. I think there's something I need to tell you.
What?
When Raz did what he did, I knew about it and I told you. And I kept meditating and I kept trying to see into the beyond, and when you look into the future, it's kind of like dreaming, but violent, quick, impulsive. I knew that if I didn't make you think that there was more than platonic bond between us, then you might not survive. The magic might work. I don't know. You're my best friend, Rhea. And I would do anything to prevent losing that. And I knew if I didn't tell you I loved you, then you might die, or it just might not work. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you're okay. So what now?
Well, we wait for Razroth. And then Woundward was the plan, I believe.
I'm sorry, but what's one word?
It's a long story. But it's, I suppose, where we believe we have to go.
Do we have any leads?
Currently
No.
not.
What do you wish to find there?
Answers. to all this? To what happened to you? To this world? Titus, is it?
Yeah.
Leah. And Blakeguard.
Pleasure.
You are Razroth's second. His ward.
I am.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I don't extend my hand. I just stand at attention behind Jude, staring towards the cave entrance, awaiting Razroth.
It is at this moment that he appears before you.
He is.
Thank you, Leah. Titus, it's good to see you. How are you feeling?
Good as I can, I guess. It's nice to see you, old friend. Thank you. When you
Of
did back there.
course. Of course. I have a feeling they won't be dealing with us anytime soon. We'll have to deal with them for a while either.
You will never know if you got out or if you're still trapped.
What makes you so sure of that? That they won't come again? Maybe not for me, but for any of us.
I promise you, they won't come for any of us.
And we'll be here if they do.
Exactly.
They are formidable, but so are we, evidently.
That's right. Us two and you three.
I turn to Estrella and just, I guess, quietly gesture to Titus, like,
I fake a smile.
Did I miss something? Is everything okay?
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
We're all back together, so.
Yes. Speaking of, again, thank you, Leah. Thank you so much, Jude. We did agree that we're going to help with you two as well. Woundwood?
Woundwood, yes.
Okay. I suppose we don't know exactly where that is yet, do we?
Not particularly, no. But we'll find a way.
Yeah.
We seem to have a knack for that, it turns out.
Suddenly,
Vega.
somebody returns.
So,
Vega?
I reach out and I touch Jude's arm. Oh, it's good to see you. And to hear you. Your voice.
Vega,
You look different.
I suppose I probably do. Don't I?
what happened to your face? I just saw you.
The scar on my face sort of shimmers slightly, a bit strange for a scar, but it looks old.
Will you tell us what you look like now? Because it is very different.
She looks, or I look, harder, like someone who's been through a year of very rigorous exercise, mentally, physically. She has a scar, or I have a scar running down my face now, and down my neck, and I'm clothed differently, but I still have the brooch that I have before. There's a necklace around my neck that has a small vial at the end of it. And she looks a little calmer than usual, like a little bit more sure.
Thank you, apprentice.
You got Titus then? You found him?
We did.
Yes.
I knew you would.
Were you not there?
Could have sworn she was.
In a manner of speaking, I was there, I suppose, but not really at the same time. But I saw everything that happened.
Everything?
Almost everything.
What do you mean? Where were you? How long? When?
I mean, time is... It's a little bit hard to track. These days, if I'm honest, I don't really know how long. I couldn't really say. A long time, maybe. God, it feels strange. It feels strange. It all feels so strange right now. Let me think. I mean, how long is this piece of string? How...
Becky, you were right here. How long?
I've seen a lot. I've slept many times. And I couldn't put a time on it. A while. A lifetime. 20 lifetimes. 1,000 lifetimes. I don't know. Maybe a day. How long was it since you last saw Erifir?
What?
Erifir.
Yes. I imagine Erifir had to do with your...
Few days, maybe?
Well, don't worry about that. It doesn't matter. I'm back. I'm here. I'm with you, and I'm here to help you, and that's what I'm here for. That's what I've been trying to do all this time. Help you. Help us. And I will.
I think it matters far more than you think it does. You were gone days, yet we thought you were just here.
You need to let go of what you think time means. If it means anything at all, just let go of it. Don't...
You were stolen from us.
I went willingly.
It's even worse.
You were It was more than just you that was stolen. You were stolen from us. You were there, but... I
was here. I am here. I was here the whole time, but I was also somewhere else.
Evidently not!
Why are you angry?
How is this possible?
There's a lot to understand. A lot of things I don't understand, and a lot of things... past, present, and future, they don't feel like they make sense, but they will, and they might make sense in a way you don't comprehend right now, but they will make sense. They don't even make sense to me.
Right. And clearly, Vega, I'll need time to understand and come to terms with these.
But we have time.
Time can be a fickle mistress.
We have so much time.
Time enough to find and kill that mage. I turn and walk away.
I'm sorry, Jude. It felt like the right thing to do. To
How long
learn.
were you gone? I don't need a riddle. How long? Quantify it for me.
Let me think. There were no windows in the room. I couldn't track the moon. And I tried to keep tally of the sleeps. Maybe 8 months, maybe more, a year. But I wasn't really gone. I was displaced.
A year with that amount of time without you would be torture to
I
me.
can't.
You did it willingly.
I didn't leave you willingly.
It looks that way. And on top of that, you robbed me.
What do you mean, robbed you?
I've been robbed of time. With you. Time that makes sense. It's almost worse that I don't remember, because at least then I'd have the feelings. I would know how to feel. You look so different. Are you different?
I don't think I'm different. I don't think so.
Are we different?
Maybe. You, at your core, are the same person, and I, at my core, am the same person. Like, if there's one thing I've learned, it's that can't change. I want you to know that I've learned so much in the time that I was away, and the entire time I was gone. I could have put you there. I could have made something that wasn't you, and I could have put you there, but I didn't. Because it wouldn't have been you. It would have been some facsimile, something that wasn't really you, something that couldn't even shine a light to who you are, couldn't even pretend to be everything that is you. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't make something that wasn't you just to make myself feel comfortable, just to pass the time. I counted every single day till I could come back here and hear your voice.
But you stayed willingly. You didn't tell me. You used to tell each other everything. I thought there wouldn't be a day where I'd have to experience a lie from you. I knew.
I didn't lie.
I knew. I knew a day would come when it wouldn't be enough for you. And, I just thought I'd see it happening.
I didn't do this for me, and I didn't lie to you. I did it because I thought it would help.
Okay. Okay.
If there's one thing I've learned, it's that whatever is happening, whatever I was supposed to do, whatever I was supposed to be, I was supposed to help us protect Lear. be by your side. But I think us, as a concept, us is so much bigger than I thought it could be. And there is something at play that I don't understand. And I don't know if I even want to understand it. I've seen what it does to people. But I thought maybe if I understood something, I could help us figure out where we're going, fix this world. There's no world here. There is no you, there is no us. If everything dies, if everything leaves, if this entirety of everything we've known turns to ash, crumbles away, there is no future for us anyway. So even if I'm not, I've lost time. At least there was hope of a future for us. In a way that there wouldn't have been if I'd just left it.
Okay. You still want to be with me after your journey?
Of course I do.
I imagine there's quite a lot I don't know about you now.
I think there's a lot less than you think there is. Most of what I've learned isn't about myself. It's about how everything weaves together. But I'm still me. I mean, hell, the reason I did this, the reason I said yes was because of my stupid, inflated self-confidence. The one thing that is me down to the core, the one thing that you know from me. All right, I can do anything I set my mind to, and this was one thing that I knew I could do.
I might need some time with this.
You can have all the time you need.
You have to speak with Lear. And I don't mean to say this to hurt you, but you are a ward, and you left him, even if he didn't know it. So, I believe that you can make it up. If you choose to.
I don't plan on going anywhere again.
It's not about you going anywhere. It's that you did tell me.
If I had told you, I didn't have a way of knowing how that might affect.
It's true, I might not have let you go.
There are loops, there are circles, there are things that happen. You don't even understand that they're being influenced in ways that you couldn't even comprehend, ways that you wouldn't even see without hindsight. And trying to predict those things, there's a reason Nerifir is the way he is. It drives you fucking insane. Trying to second guess yourself all the time. Predict what you're going to need, what is to come, what might ruin everything. I didn't know enough when I went into it. be able to tell you anything, to be able to tell anybody anything. And in all honesty, I didn't know how long I'd be gone for either.
Well, it looks good on you. I just might need some time to catch up.
It is good to see you, though. You have no idea.
I love you very much. Now I think you have to go speak with Lear.
Yeah, I owe him that much at least.
I'll leave you to.
I'm suddenly self-conscious, like I'm kind of looking down at myself, and recognizing how much I've changed. Looking down at my hands, recognizing the new calluses and things that will have formed since I last saw them. The way that I hold myself, and in fact, in that moment, I recognized that this whole time I've been floating 0.5 centimeter above the ground, and I put my foot down and just ground myself again. And I take Lear in. I owe you an explanation. And don't spare any anger. You can have as much anger as you like. Whatever you need to know, just ask and I will answer it. But I left you. I knew I wouldn't be leaving you for long. I knew that you were in safe hands and I was checking on you all the time. Anything, any slight hint of danger that you couldn't get out of, I would have been there. But I left you. I left both of you.
As she talks, I don't turn around. I'm still up on the hill by the entrance of the cave. I imagine there's a large view of everything below the mountain. I just stare out ahead into the distance and I say, so you're back.
Yes. Back. I'm back.
Vega. I'm having a hard time to process this. I don't understand. Where were you?
I could probably show you, if you'd like.
I take a step back. Vega, I don't know what happened to you, but I don't think you seem to understand exactly why it is that either Jude or I feel the way we do. You say you were gone. You could see us. You were watching over us. That entire time, I don't think, looking back at it, I even knew your name. It's not about leaving me. Fuck the crown. The system. I lift my hand up to show her our bracelet. She has a matching one. Jude does too. I say, what about this? While you were away, I didn't even think to look at it. It makes no sense without you. The three of us. But you were gone. Erased.
No. I was always there, in your periphery. I was always there. I'll say the same thing to you that I said to Jude. I had a choice. And I knew that there was a possibility that whatever I learned could help ensure that we have a future. And I had to take that risk. Because I don't want a future without you, without Jude.
So,
I spent a year not being able to ask you for your advice, not being able to hear your voice, not being able to see either of you. I couldn't even. I stopped myself from thinking about you because it hurt. And I don't think you know me better than to know that I would do that without there being a goddamn good reason for it.
I don't hold your absence against you, Vega.
You sure? Because it feels like you do.
No. You are not at fault. I lift my hand to wipe the tears from her eyes. I flinch at her scar. I don't want to hurt her. It's just a lot to process.
I'm sorry to say there's going to be even more to process soon.
What do you mean?
There are things you need to understand. That you should understand. That I need to show you. That I need to make you understand. And I need you to
Show me.
believe, and I need you to trust me, that I am me. And I have nothing but our interests in mind. And I'll try my best not to talk in riddles like that. It's hard, okay? It's really
That-
hard.
Vega, that is my one and only request. No riddles. I trust you with my heart. I always have. You know this. There'll be no tests from me. If you want to test, so be it. But I see you. What is it you want to show me? How?
I need both you and Raz. I need you
Raz?
to understand exactly what you're using. How the magic you use works. Because I don't think you truly understand. And when you understand, you have limitless options.
To what? Be like that mage?
No. And God, I know what just happened. I understand a few days ago what he did. And I can tell you, the first month of me being there, I wanted to murder him. I thought of 70 different ways in that small room. And it wasn't a big room. There are many things that I decided I could do right there in that moment to kill him. And the more I learned, the more I realized that it was very possible. But I...
You are still you.
I'm trying to tell you that, yeah.
All right then.
hopefully what I show you will help you realize the possibilities of what you can do, of what all of you can do. Because I'm not special. I can tell you that right now. I'm not special. I just tried. And I succeeded. I mean, that's all I've ever done, right?
Right. And you try. Vega, I trust you as much as I love you. So lead the way.
I reach out and take his hand.
I take
squeeze
hers. I return it.
And I could have healed this scar. And I think it better served as a reminder.
I quite like it. I'm sure Jude does too.
Suppose we'll find out. Truly.
Or
Razaroth?
Yes?
In fact, everybody. All of you. What do you understand of debt magic?
Very little. Despite my overuse of it.
Who do you think you owe the debt to?
The universe, the land itself, the world. I don't know. We never really got told who or what.
So what goes
Just
through your
that we
mind
did.
when you cast the debt magic? What do you do? What do you think about? Does the debt weigh on you?
Yes, it's for me anyway. It's just the knowledge that I owe something. Almost like a timer. When I get it right, that I have a deadline to pay what I took.
my healing magic during our first encounter with the mage. He called it as such, debt magic. I wasn't taught how to do it. Just had to harness it, you know.
Okay. Well, first things first, I need you to understand that debt magic is like... It's like a plaster. It's like a quick fix. It's something you do in the moment to fix a situation, but you need to put the work in to creating that resolution to start with. So it's like knowing that you need shelter and knowing that in the future you're going to need to build that shelter. But instead of knowing you need to build that shelter, you just create the shelter there and then because you need it in that moment. But what you need to do is create the shelter. You need to go through the process of creating, and that's what you are lacking. You're lacking the process of creation, of making whatever it is you're seeking. And further than that, you're lacking the foresight or the hindsight to know what it is you need to make and have it ready. So, if you wanted knowledge on something, you would read a book, and you're just skipping ahead to the part where you've already read the book. But at some point, you need to read that book. Let's think. I started by trying to make just a simple cup of tea, and you know what kept happening? I kept looking around me and realizing I'd taken some clay from the brickwork. I'd taken some leaves from the pot. I'd taken some water. I hadn't actually taken it from the future, I'd just taken it from near me. It was alchemical. I wasn't doing it properly. So made a cup of tea and I left it. And then the next day, when I realized that I wanted a cup of tea, I went back and I took it.
You went
From
back.
where it was. Yes. I remembered that exact cup of tea. And it was there. I'd taken it.
From that
And-
time and place.
Right. Doing it from the past is a little bit trickier because, you know, you can't really predict what's going to happen in the future, right? But that's why you need to keep a tally. Make sure you're making a note of everything you're doing so you can pay it back in the future.
I see.
But don't you understand? That means you have ultimate control of anything you want to do. You could do anything so long as you can make that in the future. And in the future, it doesn't matter how long it takes you. It can take you years, centuries even, to create this thing, to learn how to do it. But if you need it in that moment, you can have it. As long as you put the work in the future. Because if you don't, we've seen what happens.
I see. That's all well and good for personal magic. But what about the drought?
Well,
Who owes that?
that's a much bigger problem. But don't think about the drought right now. I need you to think small. I need you to think right now
Okay.
in the moment how you can help yourselves, how you can harness this.
Right.
I don't know how much you've used that magic, Lear, but we were explicitly told not to, at the very least, but I did it by accident and found I had a knack for it.
I see.
What Vega is talking about, I've done at least to a small degree. And I raised my right hand, which is still broken. It has been for days now. I believe you dealt this to my friend Arufir.
The mage, yes.
Yes, well, I healed it and took my intact hand a couple of days after as payment.
I see.
I haven't had any formal training when to come to debt magic, as you all know, it's taboo. But this is honestly maybe the extent I can do. The drought, I cannot imagine myself creating enough water to pay back that debt.
I see.
Futures and pasts and...
I have a question. Is there anything too grand of a cost for debt magic? Say, death? Or something small? Like a lie?
When you use debt magic, you're borrowing. You're summoning. You're just adding an element of time to it, right?
Would it be possible to steal someone's death from them and give it to someone else?
I'd say so.
So,
The thing with debt magic is it doesn't stand alone. It doesn't exist in a vacuum. You can use it alongside anything else, you know. You can create illusions. You could create an illusion so real that you could take from it to repay a debt. You can divine the future see yourself and what you do in the future to repay that debt before you do it. It's the smartest way of doing it, but it takes a very long time. But yes, you could take a life. It doesn't even have to be necessarily. You must tread carefully on that line of thought.
I understand.
Use what we have, you say?
Do we own anything? Or do we just owe?
We cannot create something from nothing, right? We owe a debt to whatever we've taken. The universe at large, maybe.
Has it not provided us with those things in the first place? Are they not meant to be used?
But we are displacing them from where they should be to a new place.
I think I follow.
It's a lot to get used to. I know, there's a lot. And we need to be careful because you don't want to create anything destructive in the past that you might use in the future for fear of it destroying something. But there's things you can do along the way. You can create things every single day that you can use with hindsight that you know you've done, right?
Right. Maybe I was wrong.
That's as simple as, I don't know. Like I said, you use it in conjunction with other magics. You could have all the components there ready in the past, ready to put together in the future, and you just borrow the components. They don't even have to be together. They could be anywhere in the world. Or in time. You just borrow them.
I take a seat on the ground. It's been a long day. But I take a seat on the ground and look up at Vega. Are they levitating off the ground right now? Or are they firmly on terra firma?
Firmly on the ground right now.
They look down at your feet before looking back up at you and just say, you seem to have learned a lot. So let me just tell you my situation, this situation, as a gesture to the arid landscape. Because I think the last time I brought it up, all of you wanted to kill me. So I think now we're a bit more level-headed. It's worth reiterating, but I caused this, the desiccation, because of death magic. The droughts prior to this, people were suffering, and I wanted to do something to alleviate that, even for a moment. So, after quite a long time of practicing this death magic, I've been doing it for almost 15, maybe 16 years now. I felt confident enough to fix the drought. And I pulled from years into the future and took the rainwater from there. And it worked. Almost immediately afterwards, it started to rain. People came out of their their homes to celebrate the return of the water. And it felt good. It felt good helping the people who I hoped would become my people. But, as you know, the desiccation happened. I wasn't able to pay back that debt. Usually, at least after I became better at using my death magic, I could feel when the deadline was approaching. But this rain, this return of weather, had been around for longer than even I thought possible. So I just thought maybe I didn't need to.
There are some debts that the future alone can't sustain. I think that's what I'm learning.
If it is true to harness death magic in such a way that one could do what Razroth did on a whim, I don't think that such information should go past the six of us. Such a thing would have such huge military implications. I don't think it's worth even thinking. Imagine if a neighboring state was to hear about this, and then, like that, they've stolen someone else's water, or their land, or their people. I'm all for learning about this, Vega, to save us in the now, but I think it must also end with us. For the sake of everybody.
I don't know how loopy this gets. I don't know how. I saw a past that I had influenced in a way. And I mean, how recursive can it get? I don't know, but either way, there's a lot to consider. And you're right. There's a reason Arafir isn't here.
And where is he?
He's keeping himself far away. He isn't really anywhere. Maybe sometime might be a better way of saying it. He's where he needs to be so we can do this.
In that place. In the shadows, there but not there, behind me. Like you were.
Not quite. He needs to be ignorant of some things.
I see.
I am reticent to ask a daft question, but could we not just take one raindrop from every rain from all of time?
It is possible. Yeah.
Here's my question. What is the cost? Obviously, the component is there, right? A drop of rain across time. But I've seen magics here in this land before. Fire magic, you name it, weathermancy, but it goes through people. There's a limit to what they can do. What's the limitation?
The difficulty. Do you know how hard it is? I mean, you don't yet, but you will because you're going to learn, because you need to learn. But it's taking from one place, taking from the future is one thing, but taking from thousands, millions of places all at once, bringing it all together to create one effect. You have to think about everything. Every time, every place, all at once.
And why is it we need to learn?
6 is better than 1. I imagine that difficulty goes down, right? Spread it across a distance, gets more sun.
Problem shared is a problem halved, right?
Right.
But first, you need to learn. Because we need to do it properly. Can't quick fix this one. And there's something more as well. It's not just... I can feel it. And I think all of you, if you'd been where I'd been, you'd be able to feel it as well. But there is something... It feels like... tingling at the tips of my fingers. Like it's not... quite right. And I think that's where we need to go. That's what we need to fix.
I sit down and cross my legs, opposite Razroth, looking up at Vega, and I say, okay then. So what's lesson 1?
Okay, well, I imagine all of you should try it. So, perhaps all of you should sit down. Raz and Leah are naturally inclined for this sort of thing, but in theory, you're just summoning. And you've all been trained in magic, right? In one degree or another.
Right.
Okay, well, let's start simple. You're going to conjure something, and then you're going to create the thing you conjured, ready to take it from the future. So, try not to conjure anything too destructive. What do you have with you right now? What can you create? So, for example, I have this slate and I have these pencils, and I could immediately, straight away, the slate is painted beautifully with a scene of all of them looking at me the way they are currently.
Okay.
Now, I've painted this. I will have to sit there and paint this in about an hour's time if I want to remember all your expressions properly. But I painted this. I made it afterwards. And I'm borrowing this from the future. So you can do the same thing. It doesn't have to be big.
Okay. Could I think up something more crude then, perhaps? To start off with.
If you didn't.
All right then. I reach into my satchel and I pull out this fruit. It resembles an apple. And I take a bite out of it. So I've bitten into this apple. Could I somehow take this bite and transfer it to something else in the future? Or is that too wild? Well, instructor.
Give it a go.
All right.
I haven't tried anything of that flavor before. Most of the things I do are creating, not biting.
Right. Well, I have to start somewhere, I suppose. I place my palm over the apple in much the same way that I normally do my healing magics. There's a golden glow to my palm, and narrator, is there a shift to this?
I need you to describe exactly how you are doing this, because this matters now.
Okay. I'm
like
healing the
your thought
apple.
I mean, you're eating
Right.
the apple and then you're going to send it somewhere?
No, I am How do I put this? So the apple has had a chunk taken out of it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I want to heal the apple, but take the bite to transfer the bite to something else in the future.
I see. You're taking the bite itself. So
Yes.
you will have to bite something else later. Is that what you're trying to do?
Or something else will get bitten. Not necessarily with my teeth,
Okay.
but perhaps with my magic.
Okay. How far in the future are you going, or past?
It just so happens that I have 2 apples. And in the future, I suppose within this lesson, 2
5
minutes.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Right.
So the difficulty is going to be, obviously, it's going to increase the further forward or backward you go. So 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, we can give you a 10 shift for that. This is pretty
Okay.
complicated, though, because you're not just taking directly from the same apple, you're transferring it as well. So you're not
Right.
only bending space and time to steal from the apple itself, but now you are also alchemical or potentially transmuting something else to be bitten, like an animal of some sort, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and roll. It will be your dine, whatever you have in there.
Okay. Was there a shift or no?
10.
10.
Because Vega is helping you and because you're only going so far into the future.
Here goes nothing. And nothing it was.
So what do you think happens?
I think I'm thinking of it wrong. I think the idea is there, but the application is wrong. Pun unintended.
I think, though, in this moment, you might realize that you're trying to do too much at once. So perhaps your failure was not in this idea, but just that you are not quite strong enough to divine, because that's what you have to do first. You have to divine
Right.
where you are going to be borrowing from, but you haven't done anything yet to be able to borrow from. So potentially sometimes when you're divining for, say, fire to steal from the future, you can't find anything. And so the spell will fail because of that. One of the lessons the apprentice learned fairly early on was that it's always better for you to summon your power first before you try to divine, because you need to be able to find something. And if you don't find anything your first go round, you want to make sure that you've got enough power to divine further into the future. Like maybe this thing doesn't happen in 2 minutes. Maybe it happens in 7. And if you had prepared yourself and gathered enough power to see out 7 minutes, you would have realized, okay, what I need to borrow from 7 minutes from now. So I
see.
think I'd like to say that is why the spell fails. So, and you know that, you get a sense that, okay, perhaps I needed to go further out in time to be able to do this.
Okay. All right, perhaps a bit too complicated for lesson 1.
Yeah, just a
But you
bit.
do have a year on me.
I do have more than you can chew once again, Lear.
Pun unintended, I hope there, Vega.
Oh, very intended.
All right. Well, I suppose who's next?
I'd like to try. But what if you try to take something from the future that no one will miss?
It still has an effect. Can
Does?
that be truly something that no one will ever miss? Something that hasn't had an impact in some way? It's difficult to think about things this way because everything has an impact in one way or another. We must assume that it does have impact because that affects everything.
Okay. I'd like to give it a whirl then. I try to conjure the shell of a locust from 3 months in the future.
Okay, you can roll for it. Anybody who is not Lear or Raz, unfortunately, you have a negative shift of 10. You're also going several months into the future. I'm gonna say you have a minus 20 on this, but you're welcome to try anyway. Could still get very lucky.
As I sit there, I see not a whole shell, but just the head of a locust, or what used to be a locust.
See, I think the fact that you divined its existence means it has impact, right? The fact that you even knew it was there.
Even something this small.
You did it though. Well done. Very good.
Thanks.
Why a locust though, if I might ask?
There's so many of them. I figured maybe no one would notice if one was gone. And I tucked the shell into my tunic.
I look at him quite suspiciously almost. Just very questioningly. Jude, do you want to give it a go?
Sure. I pull out my sword. I would like to clean and sharpen my sword. Have it cleaned and sharpened. Something I will surely do later this evening.
See, now that's thinking. That's very good. In a pinch, it's ready to go.
So go ahead and roll. Without the shift, we'll have to add it on after, because it's not working
Okay.
on roll 20.
Just to confirm, I'm rolling my dine and
Yep.
not my dine skill.
Your dying skill is fine.
Okay.
And then we add 10 to the roll unless it's that. Because it would be 33 then in that case, wouldn't it? Because you're adding 10 to it.
It'd be
It would be 32. Just one off.
Do I allow it?
It's up to you.
Yes. And I think probably how this will manifest is that, I think you understand. And you even said, you've been saying that, can't I just borrow a raindrop from everywhere? Logically, this makes sense to you more than I think any form of study has been in the past. It always felt weird to you, but this makes sense. And the idea that you know exactly when you are going to be sharpening because you do it at the same time every night. You didn't have to use any power to divine it. You know when you'll do it, and you know when you'll borrow it.
Yeah.
Discipline.
Yeah.
So I just run my hand over the blade. And it is now sharpened and cleaned.
Wow. Look at that hone.
So who needs divination when you have that much discipline?
I'm impressed.
Well, it was an easy one.
Ah, just you wait. I'll have you beat soon enough. If not today, then some other day. I'll borrow in from the
expect so.
future.
Estrella?
I'm alright. I'm gonna close my eyes. And I'm gonna cup my hands. I'm gonna think about a moonflower grown about 4 months from now.
Say that for me again, that last part. You're thinking of a flower?
Mm-hmm.
And why are you cutting your hands?
Cupping.
Cupping. Okay, so you just want to take a flower 4 months from the future. You're going to pick that and put it in your hand. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. You have to add a -20 because you're going so far into the future. So your skill was 24. You rolled a 27, but technically we're adding 20 to that. So this would fall out into just barely a failure. So we can go, one petal arrives, we can do whatever you like. What do you imagine happens here?
I think I would open my hands and there would just be a bunch of petals. Well, that is sort of what I was going for, but not really.
Well, the spirit was there, so it's a good start.
Now, I am going to tell you this one time and one time only. You better write this on your sheet and remember to do this, because if you do not, the world will right itself. And I am not responsible for what you're taking from the future. Or the past, for that matter.
You're all taken to this quite naturally. I suppose it's my turn.
Like I said, anybody can do it, really, once you know what you're doing, but it's just making sure you can be trusted to do it properly.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
Despite the situation we just escaped from, quite literally, we didn't move much from the entrance. I've been watching everyone almost excitedly, just kind of happy to see everyone doing something together, and my eyes linger on Estrella and Titus as I smile, because we're together again. And then I look down at the ground at my crossed legs and at my hand, and for a moment I feel that anger again, the anger that I had when looking at Titus hanging from that web, the anger I had when I was watching Estrella sobbing, crying at the sight of that, and the desperate devastation when they were first taken from me. And I look at my broken hand, and I'm going to transfer that broken hand to the past. Just moments prior.
Okay. But you're not transferring it to you, are you?
No.
So you are attempting the same thing as Lear, just going backwards?
Yes.
All right. You have your +20. What happens?
You hear quite a sickening crack as parts of my finger snap back into place and heal. The thumb and the index finger snap back into place almost perfectly right, but all the others and the bones extending to my palm. They don't quite set right, still very much broken. I wince in pain as I do that. Overall, it's better, but not fully healed.
I mean, the healing magic gets a bit complicated, I think, because it's very hard to pay a debt for healing, for pain like that. It's very hard to want to inflict pain on somebody as well. To repay a debt like that.
Yes,
To mean it.
I think we should be good with this debt, though.
I watched him very
Clearly I could do
warily.
some practicing.
Well, it's a good start, I think. But I don't know exactly how any of this works just yet. I know we can prepare ourselves in the present for a debt to be repaid in the future. Preparation is everything. But if we're not able to do that, we must pay close attention to the debts that we owe. Because we've seen what happens when we don't repay those debts. And from my current understanding, there is limitations. But perhaps there may not be. But we should act as if there are. Because we don't know any better right now. No. Did you get anywhere, Woundwood?
No, we got diverted. You know, we found where Titus was. Now with you here, that's our goal. Woundwood. Wherever that may be. To the south?
I'd like to close my eyes at this point and try feeling that feeling I felt when I first arrived back here. That strange sensation of like disharmony. And I'd like to try and see if I can... If it like... treating myself like a compass almost. Sort of like moving around to see if like there was a pull in any particular direction.
Go ahead and roll.
What do I roll for this?
Your ability. This is a type of divination, is it not?
Yes. Partial success. I think I get a vague sense of half and half, like yes this way, no that way, but there's no real strong sensation of a particular like southwest or something. But you just watch as I turn around a few times and I kind of hold an arm out tentatively and I'm sat feeling it. It is this
Right.
way.
I'll give
But
you
that's all I
something
can tell you
else
right
as
now.
well, apprentice. You do sense that it is in that vague general direction, but you also sense danger.
I trust you're all prepared for a fight. In case.
Yeah, more than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you might need to be.
But I do think we should rest.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah. That's it.
Hello?
Ah.
We're here. Where'd you go? What's happening? Hold on. You take it
What's
away.
happening?
Somebody take it away. Johnny's missing. Where are you, Johnny? There you are. I got
Johnny!
you. I got you.
The teddy bear.
Brad is also
Boy.
missing, but that's
You
okay.
enjoyed the game today. Someone gonna take this from me, or am I gonna keep going? Hi, I'm Drac.
Yes, please keep going. I'm so sorry.
You can follow me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQES. I definitely forgot how to spell my name like halfway through that sentence. I seem all over the place, but just follow me there. It's honestly the best place to find out what I'm doing at any given moment. Today I played Razroth. I don't know, Razroth the Angry. Razroth can't read the room.
Grumpy.
No, it's been great. I watched the recap. I think we all did, and it hurt exactly the same as it did the first time. So thanks for that, Johnny. I'm gonna throw it over to Johnny.
Hello there, I'm Johnny Blams and I played Titus for you today. You can follow me on the Twitch and the Twitters as Johnny Blams, where I pretend to be cowboys and stuff. Really cool episode, and I think part of the one of the many great things about being in the show is like we as the players also have no idea, and today was the first time where I'm like, is this how this works? And it's still confusing, and I love it. It's an ongoing mystery, and it kind of it's awesome to play in. I'm gonna toss it over to my triangle twin Murgles.
Triangle twin.
Nice.
Hello. Yeah, today was wild, super fun. I'm so head empty, to be honest. It was like such a good episode, but there was like definitely some heavy emotion. So, what am I supposed to say?
You shout yourself out in your channel, and
Yeah.
that you're doing an animated film, and
That.
you can find her at twitch.tv/Murgles.
Yes, the Murgles. Faye?
Hi, I'm Phelan. I played Estrella, the super quiet. She's not happy. But anyway, if
Secretly
you
thinking about how to destroy him, or maybe not, or maybe just like
thinking about how to fade into the ether after that much embarrassment. But yeah, you can find me here on Mondays as well for 100 Club, which is a really neat Cowboy Bebop inspired game run with Scum and Villainy, which is super awesome. Wax jamming that. There's some really great players on there too. You can also find me on my channel on any other day, which is just Phelan, same as Twitter, same as Twitch, both the same. I meant to say they're both the same, and then I said same as, and I just went with it. Yeah, that's me. Anyway, who hasn't gone yet? Is it Leah? Has Leah gone yet? Leah, have you gone yet? Leah.
I've done enough
Go!
talking today. I was saying just before, I understand Brad's pain now, trying to be like, oh, so vague, oh, very mysterious. But yeah, it was a very fun episode. I was actually not expecting the response from Leah and Jude. That was something that broke my heart, actually, in real life.
yeah,
I was
we
like,
were in
oh,
a call before this, and she was like,
Good.
"Oh yeah, and I think I'm gonna instruct them," and I'm like, "I think you're gonna have some conversations before that.
I think you're gonna have a bad
man.
time.
I was trying to remember, like, did she go willingly? Or, I mean, she didn't at first, but she stayed. And I was
Yeah.
like, shit, well, I mean, I guess she stayed, so that's on her. But yeah, super fascinating. But I miss Erifir, so I can stop having to, like, give the vague circular discussion, and he can come and do it instead. So hopefully I have reason to bring him back. But hi, I'm Leah. Twitch.tv/Leah. It's nice and easy. LEAH. I'll be doing some pretend cowboy stuff shortly after this. Gonna eat some food and then be a cowboy. And yeah, you can catch all sorts on my channel. Some Apex Legends, some RP, some other stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching. It's always fun. It was fun to have like a little bit more knowledge this episode and be like, I can share something. I have something of value. Everybody gather around. I have understanding. That was nice. Myra, did you go? Have you been?
Ah, damn it. Okay, fine. Hi, my name is Mara. You can find me at twitch.tv/Mara. I played Learvin Bladeguard today. And I do Star Citizen RP, Star Citizen just general just suffering, and also wild RP stuff as well. Yeah, today was great. I think I'm still not... You think with the amount of roleplay that I do with like Leah and her crying, you get used to it, but you don't. So that's my takeaway. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I loved it. Like getting back to the main story and like seeing what happened and also reliving, you know, like the Astrea and Titus thing again, and like, you know, ooh, that's awkward, but you know, it's great. It's beautiful. It's better than
ready
TV.
for a massive conversation between them next episode. That's for damn sure.
I need it.
I was just like, why aren't they like making out? What's happening? I don't...
Yeah, he's like, shouldn't they be like embracing or
Like,
holding
yeah,
hands or something? And then it's just this awkward, like,
Opposite ends of the room, just like
Yeah.
not looking at each other.
yeah, just avoiding eye contact. Yeah.
Razzle's like, I made a cave for you. I cleared it out.
Yeah.
Go ahead if you want.
Here's your cake. And everybody's like, oh God, this is so awkward. Nobody's gonna get this joke, but Brian, are you still here on the call? Bradley. He's walked away. All right. Well, Brad is also
Who's
here.
Brian?
Yeah. You weren't in the call for the joke, but we'll explain it later. Would you like to shout yourself out, please?
No.
Okay. Well,
Come
thank
on,
you.
Brian.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for being
I
here
was
on the
never
call
here.
on standby. Just in case.
disappears.
Just in yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Those listening, I just realized as Faye was shouting herself out. Those of you listening on the podcast version, if you don't know how to spell some of these names, go to tablestory.tv/Kingmakers, and all of the links are there for you. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, all the links are in the description and everything below. But yeah, I'm PB. You can find me at Twitch and Twitter at Pumpkinberry. I love today's episode because an actual fear I have is the idea that I've remembered something completely wrong, which, I mean, if you watch my other shows, that's like a theme that happens to pop up in like everything. But I didn't plan this one. This just happened. But yeah, I think it's an incredibly interesting idea that somebody can go 2 days thinking that you're there, and then suddenly it's like, oh no, you remembered that wrong. I was never actually there. That is terrifying to me. The idea that I could have, just made it all up in my brain. Oh God, no. But yeah, so I think that's a super fascinating concept to explore, and I'm glad that we got to explore it without amnesia. We got to explore it with time travel instead. So yeah, that was very, very cool.
Time-nesia.
Exactly, time-nesia. And I'm also super excited that we got to talk a little bit more about debt magic, because I've just been sitting on that for a while, not really diving into it, but I'm excited that we now get to do that and explore that together. And it seems like we might actually be exploring how magic actually functions here, which is also very exciting. So yeah, anyway, we'll see you next year. I mean, next week, right? It'll be
Tomorrow.
It'll be a week for you, but who knows for us. Cool,
I
that's
will
it.
bite
It'll
that
look completely
apple.
different next time. Good
Yep.
luck.
Bye.
Well, Vega, good luck, apprentice.